book 4 talks about closing the gap between what we want to be known for as an organization and what you're actually known for out there. And the healthiest organizations are those that can close the gap between both of those. He says, winning organizations of tomorrow will be more concerned with becoming fans of their customers instead of convincing their customers to be fans of the organization. And what he talks about is that a lot of times businesses focus on product and services, and like us, but they never get out there to discover what their fans truly want and their customers truly want. And that the greatest sales force you could build, and you know this already because your dad has done this for years, is having them out there building the organization for you. And this is how he closes this chapter. And let me see if I can... when you talk more about the customer than you do the business, the customer talks more about your business. And so this book, man, I recommend anybody to get this book. This book has been powerful, and I'm only 4 chapters in. And a lot of this we know already as leaders, but it's interesting how we think we're known for something, but then you get out there and take the temperature, if you will, and they may have a different perception. So he talks about this analogy when he was at Chick-fil-A and he used to go to store, like business operators. He would make them stand on the other side of the counter and go in the lobby and talk to the customers, because a lot of times they will stand behind the counter thinking they're doing the best job just taking orders when they need to be out there taking the temperature, if you will, of all the people. And he said it was just eye-opening exercise to a lot of franchise owner operators and how they were able, and he said Chick-fil-A is the master of it. And of course, you know, North Point Church is one of the biggest churches in America, and he talks about how when you get out there and you learn that, it says this: when customers build a business, it is the healthiest form of growth there is. The business isn't about generating fans, it's about becoming one. And I just think it's a very powerful reminder to all of us that, with, I mean, all joking aside and all sarcasm aside, it's just, it's something that we need to be diligent in understanding what the people want out there, what they really think of us, and to not become lazy or complacent and thinking, oh, we just got it made, you know, blah, 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 we're the #1 this and whatever. But how do we get better in that? That's that D coming out, right? How do we get better results? How do we get bigger, you know, money symbols, if you will? I don't know if this will be online, but you know what I'm talking about, right? And it's not about the money, but the money will be there if we truly understand what our customers want.
Or if you want it to be about the money, because if it ain't about the money, don't be blowing me up. I ain't finna do shit.
Right.
That's what T.I. said. And so, but if you want it to be about the money, we're in the thank you economy, so you have to make it about the customer, and then the money will follow.
Yeah, and he says it's in your meetings, because he gives an outline of like some mistakes that organizations make, and he says in your meetings, talk about as much about the customer as you talk about the organization. Ask the question, how is this helping the people we're trying to serve? Right? And he says, I believe that a thriving, generous, caring organization is one of the best gifts you can give to the community.
Yeah. Well, everybody wants to make money providing a service or a product that people need and want and actually like doing business with the business. But, you know, the thing is now, it's not a competition to the best product anymore. It's a competition to the attention.
Yeah.
Because everybody can make a good product or perform a good service. And so I see that all the time, like online with agents. They'll talk about, like, you know, oh, it's about the, you know, we sit down and we do this and we build this great relationship with our customer, you know, and they talk about kind of like that traditional format of how they do it, and they're really kind of stuck in this way, thinking that's how they build a business. And I think they're not, you know, getting outside of their head and really exploring what other avenues there are to replicate that process as fast as possible.
So real quickly, if I could just give the 4 strategies. He talks about part of the challenge is making sure everyone knows what the main thing, keeping the main thing the main thing. And he gives 4 strategies. Number 1, what you see. Don't just say it, show it. Words are powerful, but research tells us over and over again that words plus images are more powerful. right? And that's something I've adopted even at our church. Is, I mean, everywhere you go, there's signage, there's to reinforce what the main thing is. Number two, real quickly, what you celebrate, okay? And as a high D, I struggle with this sometimes because I'm always looking at how can we get better? Why didn't we do this better? But he says we also need to realize that that celebration is a far better instructor, right? And for those that are high DIs, it's a thing you struggle with because you focus so much on results. That is the power of celebration helps reinforce the main thing. So even as a leader, and I'm using church because that's, you know, there as a pastor, I've had to learn how to celebrate through gift cards. I've learned how to go up to people more and be like, hey, I just want to tell you thank you, you know, and just try to learn how to do it because my natural personality is not that way.
Yeah.
My natural personality is thank you, but here's 15 other things we could have done better. Okay, so he talks about that real quickly. Number three, where you meet. He talks about getting outside of the office, getting outside of just your walls and meeting somewhere in a fresh, area and environment to help spark creativity. Okay, and then number four, he talks about what you talk about, and that's when he says talk about the customer as much as you talk about the organization. Remember, customers tell customers where the gaps are between our marketing and their experience. So stuff that we probably already knew, but it's a good reminder. And he says it's what you need. It's why you need to show them real, authentic, and credible answers in order for them to become a sales force for free.